Tom and Andrew for Monday morning. Sorry I'm late, Andrew. I may or may not, full disclosure, have overslept a bit this morning.
I think you're more than welcome to oversleep, Tom. You are one of the hardest working boys I know.
Well, you don't know many hard-working boys then, clearly. So, hence, these are my Christmas pyjamas. They're out of season, but they are the comfiest things I own. So if you subscribe to the news podcast, some hot and fresh, piping fresh wrestling news in your inbox in a bit. Should be there by now, to be perfectly fair. Did you have a nice weekend, Andrew?
It was very good, thank you. I'm still sorry. I still some tears. I'm not going to spoil anything, but the ending of Vengeance Day there, a little bit of tears, but it's all good. How was yours?
It was all right. It's still same as you. Few tears from Vengeance Day that we won't spoil. We'll get straight to the headlines instead. Not one, but two former Impact champions joining WWE. An NXT star has deleted Twitter following a fan backlash. And could a big title change be coming up on AEW Dynamite? We'll talk about it in a bit. Waking up this morning to not one, but two pretty big former Impact champions joining WWE. One that you may already know about, one maybe you're just finding out about now. We'll start with the one that you may know. No spoilers for what went down at Vengeance Day last night, but there was a face popping up on the pre-show. Who has arrived in NXT, Andrew?
Oh, who is that in the NXT zone, Tom? It sounds...
It's Pikachu!
It's Pikachu! It is none other than Eli Drake. Hoo-wee! And this is exciting. He's got a little bit of a... Well, I mean, his name's changed a little bit now, Tom. His name's changed a little bit. What's his name now?
His name now is L.A. Knight. So Eli Drake turns up during the pre-show as a surprise, whilst Wade Barrett and Sam Roberts and Brandon Walker from Barstool Sports were chatting away. Here comes the now known as LA Knight. Just puts the entire locker room on notice. Just cuts a beauty, a chef's kiss of a promo. He is so good. Like, he stood out many years ago to WWE when he was on the Rock's reality show. This led to him joining NXT back at the start of the last decade. Didn't quite work out. He ended up going separate ways with the company, made a big name for himself as part of Impact Wrestling, became a world champion there as well. Up till recently, been doing stuff as part of NWA, turning up on Power and numerous other independent places. But he is signed, sealed, and delivered with WWE now. Are you familiar with some of the work of Eli Drake, Andrew?
Yeah, like from his stuff in Impact and then watching little bits of Power and stuff. This guy he's a big boy, but we don't have many big boys in NXT at the moment, or like, especially since like Keith Lee and Dijakovic and everything went to the main roster. But he's so good that he can also go with the smaller boys as well, which we've seen. And I think this is perfect. He's got so much charisma as well. And I really want to see a promo between him and Cameron Grimes so much.
Oh,
them two together would make gold.
They certainly would. Now, a lot of people drawing comparisons between Eli Drake and EC3, and he's only turned up just the once, but already there is a concern that somebody like an Eli Drake or an LA Knight may get lost in the struggle, in the shuffle a little bit with WWE. So all being well, they use him the right way, and we get some, as you say, some great promo battles. You know, he's been on the radar for quite a while, and the reason that we know this is because if you play WWE 2K19, his entrance is in it. And his taunts are in it. You can create Eli Drake in 2K19 complete with all this stuff as well. I can't remember what the taunt's called at this time, but you can make him in it. Fun factoid. So LA Knight / Eli Drake, now part of the company. There was another Impact signing that's been broken by PW Insider in the last few hours. A former Impact champion on their way in, as well as Eli Drake. Who's that, Andrew?
So it sounds as though it's going to be Taya Valkyrie, Tom. And this is exciting as well. Both of them are exciting, but this is really exciting to me as well.
This is one that we thought was going to happen quite a while ago, and one that Taya Valkyrie has vehemently denied happening. on multiple occasions. Whenever she's been linked with WWE, it's something that she's very much shot down. PW Insider reporting this morning that she has indeed signed with WWE. An announcement from the company pending to officially declare it. In fact, that could come by the end of play today. Ty Valkyrie is a brilliant get for WWE, an excellent performer. Whether or not she will be a part of NXT, or whether or not she might head up to the top brand to be near her partner, near our boy John Morrison. Where would you like to see her land, Andrew?
I think. I mean, to be honest, I think the main roster does need, especially Raw, needs a little bit more star power in there, personally. But then I feel like she'd thrive more with the talent in NXT. I'd love to see her in NXT. I'm an NXT boy, Tom. I can't. I don't want anyone going to the main roster just quite yet. But I think she'll have some fantastic matches. Her and Raquel Gonzalez as well, going at it. Whoa.
The artist formerly known as Eli Drake and Taya Valkyrie, now within the fold of WWE. Staying with NXT, a little bit of backlash over the weekend, or quite a bit of backlash over the weekend towards Casey Catanzaro. So for those who missed this, it was reported in our news over the weekend. Tell us what went down between with Casey Catanzaro over the weekend, Andrew.
So it seemed as though she was responding to some online criticism of an Instagram video she posted featuring her. She was eating out at a Florida restaurant, and in a Twitter video response that's now been deleted, she noted that she understood and appreciated the concern online, but that living in Florida, one isn't required to be wearing a face mask while seated in restaurants. She explained that she's following all safety protocols and she is tested at least once a week by WWE, sometimes multiple times over the course of a week, and Catanzaro noted that she brings hand sanitizer with her everywhere and noted that she was sorry if the video made anyone think she wasn't following safety protocols, and said that she heard and appreciated all of the concern. So
she then followed that up after this video started getting a lot of angry messages. She ends up deleting her Twitter account altogether. Casey Catanzaro removing her, I think, from social platforms, and a lot of this comes because in a time where there is a pandemic and so many people aren't going anywhere, to see people out and about and doing stuff it doesn't seem right. And what she says is from a legal standpoint is true. In Florida, they are casual about it more so than anywhere else.
Yeah,
like in Florida, you can go out and eat in groups of people, and there are different protocols in place. So whilst like legally, Casey Catanzaro didn't break any rules, I think ethically there's a concern here. Yeah. In the sense that to the rest of the world, when there is a pandemic on, and people haven't seen friends and family. I haven't seen my Auntie Belinda in 3 years. It's nothing to do with the pandemic. I just don't like her. But all jokes aside, in a time where there is all this going on and people haven't seen friends and family for ages, I think you kind of have to set a bit of a precedence, really. And I personally, if it was me, I wouldn't put anything online if I was doing something of that ilk, even if it was within the realms of legality. Me personally, I wouldn't. I would just err on the side of caution. Probably not have a massive surprise party, which not that she could organise, But yeah, you open yourself up to criticism, don't you? If you post something like that online in this day and age, in this time, you are bound to get criticism. And obviously with like the New Year's Eve party stuff that all went up as well, like you'd have thought that maybe she would have been like, okay, let's stay away from posting anything like that. But I mean, like you were saying, it's the law in Florida. Things are a bit more relaxed there, but like just have a bit more common courtesy, a bit more, like it's not just to protect yourself, it's to protect the others around you. Like just be a bit more, just be smarter about it, really. That's just our opinions.
Yeah.
Feel free to go off in the comments. I'm sure you have by now. I'm sure you have. Finally, let's go AEW. Some rumors coming out of a shock title change that could be taking place on this Wednesday show. Now, we emphasize these are rumors, but they're pretty strong rumors from a reputable source. What do we know, Andrew?
So, from Cage Side Seats, so the speculation AEW could do a title change in the Young Bucks / Santa Ortiz match on Dynamite next week, or this week, should I say? I guess it would be this week, right? Yeah.
Wednesday. It's fine. I think we're in this week.
We're in this week. Whew, whew.
Hang on. How have you been up longer than me?
Not a clue. Not a clue, Tom. I don't know.
Bless you. Yeah, so there's a lot of rumor and innuendo doing the rounds that we could see the Young Bucks lose the titles this week. And it would certainly allow for some interesting storyline developments between the Inner Circle, who are splintering off as we speak. Have you enjoyed the Young Bucks title reign, Andrew?
It's been fine. I don't think
it's
they've
been
really
fine, hasn't it?
I don't think they've really done much, to be honest. Like, it's just been there, hasn't it? Which is a shame because those guys are so good. They could have done so much better things. Not to saying they can't do good things, like going into the future. Maybe this is all just speculation. Maybe the title change doesn't happen and we get something else in the future. But it's been all right.
I think when the guys as talented as the Young Bucks have the belts, you kind of expect it to be like a 5-star melee every single week. And when it hasn't been that for numerous reasons, through COVID and injuries and such like that, and we haven't seen that. So maybe give Santana Ortiz just a solid tag team that is removed from a lot of the stuff that the Bucks are currently doing involving Kenny Omega and the Bullet Club and that, and remove those titles from that story. That story can breathe without tag titles, and give it to Santana and Ortiz to do some stuff with the Inner Circle and then splinter off and do other things with it. I think that'd be a really nice little development, that, don't you, Andrew?
I definitely, yeah. It makes more sense as well, doesn't it? With all the sort of inner turmoil of the Inner Circle, it does make sense to have something else in there just to like, poke the thing with a stick there. Go on, get things going, get things riled up. But,
poke them with a stick. Poke them with a stick. They'll like it. They'll like it a lot. More news later on today with Andrew and Adam Pacitti. Leaders back. Celebrate. We'll start a party. Socially distanced, of course. And look out later on today for NXT TakeOver Vengeance Degraded once I've had a shower. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.